Hi, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Martin, and I hope you're excited for week 4. So, I'm back from my Scout-A-Rama camp out. That was full of lots of rain and excitement. I'm ready to dive in with you for this next week. We're going to be talking about some different topics this week, a little bit of a shift from where we were at before. We're going to look at some basic knowledge of consumer protection that includes the different agencies that can help you as well as businesses to be protected from fraud. Look at specific ones like the Federal Trade Commission and how they act in our behalf, what we can do through small claims courts and other things like the Better Business Bureau to be responsible and hold other businesses responsible for their products, know the difference between express and implied warranties, and understand where we can turn to look for help in our local communities and in our state. So with that in mind, let's dive in and kind of take a look at this semester, or excuse me, this week. So the first thing that I want to touch on is let's look at this content over here, and if you again turn to week 4, you will see a summary here of all of our different activities. So just briefly, the first one is the reading section, and there's a lot of different information in there. You're going to need that in order to answer the quiz, and I suspect that's something that you realize at this point, that you can't just wing it on the quiz and expect to get a good score. So please take time to read through that. Look at the different consumer rights and things that we find, understand what your responsibilities are, and you'll notice I've already kind of touched on some of these in some of my responses to various posts and asking what students have or haven't done when they were displeased with a decision or a product that they had. Understand the different enforcement options that are available to you and that the government has at their hands. This is where it details some of the small claims courts and some of that information. So please get in and read that completely. The second part is of course your quiz, and you're going to go ahead and just do that. So after you complete the reading, and then after that we really want to focus on this activity. So again, it's a 50-point assignment. It's rather significant, and I want to stress that you cannot wait to do the last half of this activity. This is not something that you can just try and do Saturday night and expect to get a good score on. So for the first portion, you have to go through and look at these different websites that have been assigned, understanding what it is they do and how they can help. And then you can go ahead and search to find offices that provide consumer protection in your particular state. So you're going to look at some of these examples and then identify what kind of applies for where you're at. And that includes pulling up a list of agencies. So you're going to have an essay describing what's available in your state, and then you're going to have a list of agencies that are available. So that's part 1. Now part 2, I think you'll understand why you cannot just do this at the drop of a hat. Part 2 actually requires you to call or research the Better Business Bureau and find out what your different options are, like a Chamber of Commerce, Attorney General's office. And then you need to contact local television, radio stations, and newspapers and find out if they devote information to consumer action services. And then after you do that, then we're again going to call or research online different toll-free websites and things from the list that's been provided by some of the different groups, and ask for specific information about their services or search for information on their websites. And finally, you're going to describe how you obtain the information in those particular steps and evaluate the information and talk about how it would be useful for you or for other consumers. Last but not least, you're going to go ahead and submit the details of that to us through Dropbox. So you can see there's a lot of things there that require actual contact, so don't put it off. Please dive in there and make that happen. Alright, so let's talk about the discussion portion. The discussion boards activity is more involved this week. It's a very significant amount of points, 50 points, and it's going to require 3 separate deadlines, and I'll review those at the end. But the first is this preparing your case. So you're going to identify a good or a service that you feel should be more closely regulated. This is due Tuesday, so you need to have this done and posted. 25 points, get it up there. The second part is preparing a defense. So this is where you're actually going to look at someone else's post about a product that they think should be regulated, and you're going to make a defense on why you think it should not be regulated. And you're going to post that on their website or on their discussion. You have to do that by Thursday. So you have 2 days to read what the other people put up there, come up with a defense, and post a defense on one of those cases. I don't want to see a whole bunch of defenses on the same case. So if a case already has 1 or 2 defenses, please choose something else. And then part 3 is a rebuttal. So this means you go back to your case that you posted and you answer the defense that was raised against it, and you address why you still believe that it should be regulated. And that is due by Saturday. So you've got your initial case due Tuesday, you have your defense against someone else's case due on Thursday, and then you've got until Saturday to issue your rebuttals on the defenses that were posted on yours. So again, you cannot wait till the last minute to get this done. You need to be active during the week. And there's the grading rubric provided down there below. And last but not least, we have just the free write activity. So again, with this, I want to stress these 2 things here. Many of you do really well at talking about principles you've learned in the class, but insights you gain from the class discussion or opportunities where you've seen some of those principles in your life and identified them during the week, all of that can be fantastic as well. So I look forward to an incredible week with you. We should have fixed some of the issues with the discussion boards and put us all into 1 or 2 groups, and that should help significantly in making sure that you have a wider range of individuals to choose from to respond to and also to receive responses from. I love each and every one of you. I want you to know that you are going to have challenges that come up in your life, and I understand that, and I really try hard to treat all the students fairly. And sometimes that means that students who have challenges come up still are required to submit assignments on time. Not all challenges are submitted or created equally, if you will. Reminder that the Lord has told us that we are to be agents unto ourselves, and we are to be agents that seek to do good continually. And as part of that, when we look at being wise consumers, we make some of those choices and we decide whether or not we let agencies get away with fraudulent practices or pushing faulty goods, and really helping not only ourselves but those who come after us to be protected against those who would choose their agency in this case to offer faulty or incomplete products. Hope you have a fantastic week, and I look forward to seeing those cases on the discussion boards.